24 NFL season is just a week away when the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs will host the Baltimore Ravens on September 5th. But football fans only have to wait a day for the season premiere of Inside the NFL. The CW's Emmy Award-winning show is back for its 47th season, which premieres tomorrow night. And this year, host Ryan Clark and analyst Chad Johnson and Chris Long will be joined by legendary former New England Patriots coach Bill Belichick as they break down each week of the upcoming season. And Super Bowl and Emmy Award winner Ryan Clark is joining us now. Ryan, good morning to you. I do want to ask you about working with Coach Belichick, but first, Inside the NFL, moving to a new night, Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern. People at home, what can they expect?
Well, what they can expect is a look ahead now, and we're still filmed at NFL Film. So we have all the sights and sounds of the previous weeks, and we'll include those things so you can get that sort of cinematic feeling. But when you bring on a guy like Bill Belichick, who's prepared the best teams of the last 2 decades, you want to talk about what you'll see in that weekend's biggest games. And so we'll be looking ahead to more of the insight into the X's and O's, and also the bigger storylines that will tell the tale of who will be the winners on Thursdays and Sundays and Mondays of the upcoming weeks.
You talked about it, one of the football's most iconic coaches, Bill Belichick, getting added to your team. What's it like getting to work with him?
Imagine like being in Old School or Wedding Crashers, where you have sort of that dry sense of humor and it's at a genius IQ football level. That's what it's like being around Coach Belichick every day. He is kind of like snarky and sarcastic, and then he'll say something to you where he brings up the history of something that happened in the NFL long before you were born and ties it into 2024. It's been really cool sort of getting to know him away from the cutoff hoodie, away from the sort of media presence that was standoffish. And it's like hanging out with your old uncle that knows everything about football, yet still wants to learn. And so I've really enjoyed getting closer to Coach Belichick. I think that relationship will grow as we get toward the end of the season and get into the playoffs and his time, Super Bowl time. But it's been really fun knowing Coach Belichick opposite, or not being on the opposite sideline, and absolutely crushing all of us on the field.
Yeah, who do you think is going to enjoy Belichick being part of the team more, the viewers at home or you and your fellow analysts who get to work with him?
And listen, I know the viewers are going to love it, but could you imagine being someone that's loved football your entire life, looking up to this coach, sort of admiring all that he's accomplished, and now being his colleague? You know, sometimes you just sit there and you're kind of enamored by what he's saying, and we're so tapped into him, we forget to be analysts, or we forget to host the show. And that's what's been really cool, too, is being around Coach Belichick and having him accept us, having him be tuned in or locked into what we're saying, and him learning from us as well. And so if we could show you, which we will be able to show you, some of the things we do pre-show in the edit room, you're going to get to see a whole new side of Coach Belichick. And I think people will enjoy that. I'm just not sure they'll enjoy it more than me, Chris, and Chad.
Fair enough. Speaking of iconic New England Patriots working in TV, Tom Brady's also making a much anticipated move to TV. He's going to be the lead color commentator for Fox's NFL games. How do you think he's going to do? You think he's going to be the GOAT on the mic as well?
Yeah, so here's what I'm interested in seeing. Imagine being the greatest player of all time and having to critique other players. Think about that level of excellence he played at and the way that he sees the game. I wonder how hard he's going to be on some of these current players, because if you've listened to Tom leading up to this, he's not pulling punches. He's talking about the mediocrity in football. He's talking about the way younger people approach this game. So I'm excited to see him really dig in on game day to the X's and O's. We had him on our podcast, The Pivot, shortly after the Tom Brady roast, right? The roast of all roasts, the GOATs of the roast. And he talked about the way that he approached the game, and I think he's going to approach broadcasting in the exact same way. And I've gotten to know him in retirement. He's intense, he's focused, he's organized, he's prepared, and I think he's going to do an amazing job taking over with that #1 team along with Kevin Burkhardt.
Storylines to watch both on and off the field this season. Ryan Clark, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.